This is really quite comfortable in the back here actually while we're bouncing around a field.
It's not too bad in the front either. It's quite good fun. But you can get the off-road pack for this.
Was that sump protectors?
Yeah, that's the one. Just make sure you don't leave half your car in a field. Well, we're out of the field.
There we go.
We made it in one piece. And we're on some lovely tarmac now. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now Will and I have got this brand new BMW X5 for the next couple of days, and that's thanks to BMW Chandlers in Hailsham. The exact model we have is the BMW X5 X-Drive 30D M Sport.
You done?
Yeah,
that really trips off the tongue, doesn't it?
And we want to show you guys around this car.
Well, BMW started all this, didn't they? All this performance SUV 4x4 type stuff with the first X5.
Yeah, back in '99. I think it wasn't until, I can't remember the exact, I think it was 2006 or something like that when the first M version of the X came out, which was I think the first sort of ultra sporty SUV to come on the market. And I think, haven't you owned a couple of these before?
I've had two.
You've had two of these.
Because I'm greedy. I had the E53 petrol, 3 litre. Petrol's not a good choice for these cars. And then I had the E70, the next generation, that was diesel and fantastic. So that was the sport twin turbo monster. Lovely. And then this builds on the heritage. I've not spent any time in one of these, but it's as you'd expect. It's very high position to look down on the road. It's lovely.
So what do you think of the styling of the car?
Well, it's not come a long way from the E70, which is a good thing. You know, it still has that BMW flavour. And yet it's more sleek, so the lights are much more streamlined, the rear lights are much more defined. I'm going to say it, it's fantastic.
One thing though, that grille, it is big, it's a bit of a Marmite thing. I like it. What do you think of it?
I love it. You know when this comes up behind you, because that's all you'll see in your mirror is this enormous row of teeth.
It's quite amazing as well, the fact it's only one piece now, isn't it? That's the sort of new design language they've got.
I think it looks better in
yes.
one piece. It's just like a big figure 8, isn't it? But yeah, I think it's a nice statement for the front of the car.
Because this is the M Sport one, so you've got the body kit, so it makes it a bit more aggressive. We've got the larger 21s on this. I think
21s.
Yeah, it comes with 19 as standard, so it just gives it a bit more of an aggressive look. And I think they've done a good job with it, to be honest.
No, they have. I'm not saying very much because this is exactly what I expect from an X5. Having had two, have I mentioned that? And it's a nicer place to be than the very first one was, but then the very first one was an extremely nice place to be versus everything else that was on the market at the time. They're great. It's lovely and quiet in here.
It's because it's a 3 litre diesel, and it's
BMW diesel engines are fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm saying it again. They're so quiet and so punchy. The amount of torque in these things is incredible. To move, what's this, 2.2 tonnes?
Yeah.
It really does shunt it down the road.
Yeah.
So the diesel engine is very versatile, so it's the same block in this as it will be in the M50D. There may be a few components that are slightly different, and of course that has 4 turbos put on it. But it's an extremely strong, versatile, very, very puissant engine. Perfect fit, really.
Yeah. I mean, this is still 260 odd brakes, 600 newton meters of torque, so it's still enough to progress quite nicely, and you're still going to get, I can't remember the exact, 40 something to the gallon. If you pop it in sport.
Is that in sport? Yes.
Yeah, so we've got two parts here. You've either got an individual sport, so you can set up the car exactly how you fancy it. So you might want
soft suspension.
Yeah, exactly.
Aggressive takeoff.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what it's going to be like. So we can slow down, and then
yeah, that's adequate.
Yeah, that'll do the job quite nicely.
I used to throw the dog in the back, chuck all the shopping in there, charge around with my son and his mates in the back. Brilliant.
But it's surprisingly, this X5, the boot isn't any bigger than the previous generation. Still
a
big.
Good size.
Yeah, 750 litres. Although that is smaller than most of its competitors.
There is another catch with this particular one in that it's got the two rear seats at the very, very back, which are currently under the floor of the boot. But we'll have to pull those out later and see just how much space there is then.
Damien's annoyed with me. I keep telling him that I've had two of these and he doesn't like it very much, so he's now relegated me to go and try the rear seats of this, the very rear seats, the sort of place that you'd put very small children. I'm 6 foot tall, quite porky. This is not going to be a comfortable experience. Let's see how we get on, shall we? Takes a little while for the seat to drop. That really doesn't look like a lot of room to be able to get in. I'm going in. Don't look at my bum. Ugh. Oh my god. No, this is horrible. Oh! Yeah, there's not a lot of room back here. And in fact, with my legs in some sort of human formation, I've got about 3 inches of knee ahead of the back of this seat. So let's see if the seat itself will chop my legs off, or if there is enough of a safety feature to not do that. This is not going to be very pleasant. I can feel the walls closing in. Not nice, not nice. Okay, I'm in. Oh, I'm more in! Oh my god! Right, I now have no blood going to my feet, I think. This clearly is not something that you could use every day, certainly not with someone of my size. Maybe if you've got children 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, they might enjoy it back here in a little cave of their own. There's a couple of drinks holders as you'd expect, but they're not very deep. So maybe one of those anyway up sippy cups. You know, if you went and picked up your mates from the pub, they probably wouldn't care. But the worst part is when someone else gets in. Oh, perfect. Here we are. So now someone else has got in. Thank you very much. Actually, the weight of just you sitting naturally is pushing the seat back even further. But how is the space for you right there with?
It's not too bad. I've still got a few inches between me and the...
Oh, so you're comfortable?
Yeah, I'm not too bad at all. I can just laugh at you.
It's not pleasant, isn't it? So if you wouldn't mind, release the pressure. Ah, yes. So great for kids. Not great for big lumps like me. But now the struggle to get out. This is an acrobat's dream. You could train for all sorts of Olympic events getting in and out of this. There we are. I wouldn't recommend it. I feel like I've either been to or need to go and see a chiropractor now. It's quite small in there. But for kids, fantastic. You know, no problem at all. For picking up your bendy mates from the pub, not a problem. If you've got very short friends, brilliant. Not for me-sized people though. But a nice experience that I will never ever try again. Put that back. Damien? Damien, it's your turn.
maps are really good on this thing. They're sort of
Yes,
nice
BMW's
and,
system is fantastic.
pinch and zoom. We've got like a little slidey drawer in here. Put your mobile phone, wireless charging, cup holders, USB. I think it's just a normal USB in there somewhere.
I don't mean to keep harking back to the X7, but the X7 had heated and cooled cup holders.
It is an option.
It is an option.
If you, on here, if you spend, I can't remember the exact name of the pack, but it's another £4,750.
Oh, is it the comfort pack?
Yes, and you get that, and you get massaging seats, heated rear seats.
Well, now that I've seen heated and cooled cup holders, I shan't be buying a car without it.
So one of the safety features this car's got is called lane assist. Now that, in theory, should give you a polite tap on the shoulder and tell you you're drifting onto the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It grabs hold of the steering wheel and drags it whichever way it wants to go.
It's a bit intrusive for my liking.
Yes.
Not a fan at all.
No. No, in fact, I've turned it off.
Yeah.
I don't like it. If it beeped at you or wiggled the steering wheel or excuse me sir, you seem to be departing your lane, fine. But the fact that it actually pulls you back is really quite...
And it feels quite aggressive, doesn't it? It's like
I thought
big
it was.
tram lining.
It's exactly like tram lining. I think you might get used to it, and it shouldn't happen all the time. But we've been over broken white lines and what have you, and I guess it's misreading what's going on, because we were perfectly safe in our lane, and yet it tried to pull us out of the way, which is a bit alarming. Maybe it's just that I'm just not used to it. I don't know. So once again, we have to say a big thank you to Charlie and the rest of the sales team at Chandlers BMW in Hailsham. Absolutely wonderful support that they give us, and without them these videos just wouldn't happen. So today it's the X5, a few days ago it's the X7. Personally, I'd buy the X7 over the X5 simply because it's much more usable, although it is much bigger. But those people who've watched this video to this point will know that getting in the back of this car isn't quite as comfortable as the X7. If you've not seen the X7 yet, we'll flash it up on the screen and you can go and find it there. But thanks again, Charlie. Really great support. Thank you very much.